Description: Naruto was born according to the canon, but his sister Namika was born with him. The fox sealed the third Hokage. Hiruzen divided the fox into two parts, the dark side in Naruto and the light side in Namika. Naruto was bullied not only by residents but also by his family. Naruto trained himself and Orochimaru noticed him in one of the trainings. Naruto got into a conversation with him and started training with him. Naruto hated Konoha and because of this took the side of Orochimaru. Naruto was walking through the night village when suddenly Naruto was grabbed and dragged into an alley. What have I done to you?" Naruto asked, blocking the blow. "You are the demon who killed our family," shouted the shinobi in Chunnin's vest, and, taking out a kunai, stuck it in Naruto's. Naruto was knocked out by the blow, and the shinobi, fearing that they had killed him, ran away. Naruto lay like that until morning. What have I done to them? What demon? Who have I managed to kill? Naruto thought and woke up. Naruto was covered in blood, and there was a void instead of his right eye. Uzumaki reached home and, opening the door, saw his whole family, who were sitting at the kitchen table. "So where have you been all night?" Namika asked with disgust. Naruto and Namika were 5 years old. "Doesn't that concern you?" Naruto replied coldly. "Don't you dare talk to your sister like that," Kushina shouted. "Fuck off." Again. Naruto replied coldly. "How do you communicate with your mother?" Minato asked this time. "You're not my father, she's not my mother," Naruto replied coldly again. "You tell me I'm not your sister," Namika said. "It is I who do not consider you my relatives. How dare you?" Namika shouted and ran at Naruto, raising her fist to strike. Naruto easily dodged, and, hitting Namika with his knee in the stomach, took her by the hair and opened her right eye. "How do you like the view?" Naruto asked, looking with an empty eye socket into Namiki's eyes. Namika screamed and ran to her father. Naruto went to the bathroom and, throwing things into the basin, began to wash off the blood. "I will destroy this village. Alone or with someone, but I will destroy," Naruto thought, washing away the blood along the way. Naruto got out of the bath and went to his room. Uzumaki put on his shorts and went down to the kitchen. "Where did you get these scars from?" Minato asked, looking at Naruto's torso. Naruto had a lot of scars on his body, different in size. "Is that all you're interested in?" Naruto asked, opening his right eye. Minato looked into the empty eye socket and, without saying anything, turned away. Naruto took some food and went to his room. "It's time to start my training," Naruto thought, and put on a t-shirt. "But first I need to take the money." Naruto left the room and entered Minato's office. He doesn't even hide money. Looking at a stack of money, Naruto thought. Uzumaki took the money and left through the window. Naruto ran at high speed to Polygon 7. Where to start, Naruto thought. Perhaps with physical training. Naruto started doing physical exercises and finished by the evening. So a year passed. Naruto had a very strong body for his age. Naruto came to the training ground again and began to warm up. "Kabuta, isn't that a nine-tailed one?" asked Orochimaru, sitting in a tree with Kabuta. "Yes, that's exactly it." Orochimaru descended from the tree and approached Naruto. "Naruto Uzumaki, the son of the fourth Hokage, and Kushina Uzumaki, you are also called the scum of Kage and demons." Orochimaru, a renegade Kanahi of rank C, one of the 3 legendary Sanins, parried Naruto, doing push-ups along the way. "And you're not stupid, and you're pretty quiet. Do you want me to train you? What do you want in return?" "Nothing, no need to lie. If you need a fox, then I can't control it. And you're even smarter than I thought. So we need a fox. I want to destroy this village along with these people." "I fully agree. In return for training, I will help you destroy this village." "A great offer. Can you control the chakra?" "I can walk on water, walls and so on." "You know your elements pretty well." "No." Orochimaru printed out 5 sheets of chakra and handed it to Naruto. Naruto took the sheets and held the chakra. The first leaf burned, the second was cut in half, and the third sparkled. 3 elements then, Orochimaru said with surprise. "So, tomorrow I'll come here at the same time, and bring you the scrolls with the techniques." "Okay, and I also know how to use the shadow cloning technique." "Great, I'll be there tomorrow." Arakamaru disappeared, and Naruto went to the evening chickens. Naruto came to the training ground and saw Arakamaru. "Catch it," said Arakamaru and threw 5 scrolls to Naruto. Naruto caught the scrolls and, unfolding one scroll, saw the fire technique, a fireball. "You need to master 5 techniques in a week. I'll come back in a week and give you a gift," Arakamaru said and disappeared. Naruto began to study techniques and in a week learned everything, namely, a fireball, an air gust, a lightning bolt, phoenix flowers, bullets from the wind. "Have you learned everything?" Arakamaru asked, appearing behind Naruto. "Yes, then we will have a fight." Naruto and Arakamaru started a taijutsu fight. Arakamaru was superior to Naruto in many ways. Arakamaru strikes Naruto in the stomach, he flies off into a tree. "Kaiten, phoenix flowers, folded the seals," said Naruto. "Futon, the great breakthrough," parried Arakamaru. The element of fire dissipated, and Arakamaru's technique flew to Naruto. "Damn, shadow cloning." Naruto used clones and disappeared. "Raiten, discharge." Naruto shouted and touched Arakamaru. Arakamaru was pierced by a bolt, and the clone disappeared. Arakamaru came out of the bushes and clapped. "Enough, you were able to defeat my clone. Now come here." Naruto approached the growl, and he put a cursed seal on Naruto. Naruto blacked out and woke up at the training ground a couple of hours later. Uzumaki saw a note next to him, in which it was written, "Enter the academy, and do not show your strength. When you get the title of Genin, come to this training ground, and when you finish reading, spend the chakra in the sheet." Naruto held a chakra, and instead of a note, a bunch of scrolls appeared. Uzumaki entered the academy, and did not show even 50% of his strength. And here is the long-awaited release. Naruto decided to show that he is far from a fool. Naruto wrote a test for 100%, passed all the techniques for excellent throwing of shurikens and kunai. For 10 fraction of 10. Uzumaki got into Team 7. "So, my name is Hitaki Kakashi, and I'm your sensei. Introduce yourself, and tell us about yourself." "Let's go first," Sakura said. "Okay, you're the first one. My name is Sakura Haruna. I love Sasuke, I dream of Sasuke, but I hate Naruto. I am Sasuke Uchiha, I love tomatoes, the rest does not interest you." "Naruto Uzumaki, you don't need to know any more. Think you're the coolest?" Sakura asked and struck at Naruto. Uzumaki dodged out of the knee, hit Sakura in the stomach. "Pig, shut your mouth and don't you dare even try to hit me," Naruto said coldly. "Tomorrow at the 7th training ground, at 7 o'clock in the morning, and don't eat anything," Kakashi said, and disappeared. Naruto followed Kakashi's example and also disappeared. "Ovu has already approved more here than," Naruto asked, looking at Sensei. "Hello, Naruto. And now I'm going to give you a Sharingan of one of the Uchiha. Are you serious?" Naruto asked calmly. "That's right, I'm going to perform the operation right here," Oruki said. "Knock out the student." 2 hours later, Naruto woke up and, not seeing Shinsei, went for a walk. In the morning, Naruto came to the training ground at 9 a.m. "Hey demon, why are you late?" Sakura asked, preparing for the blow. "As I understand it, it wasn't enough for you," Naruto said, and with one kick sent Sakura into a tree. "So, your task is to take the bells from me before lunch," Kakashi said, appearing behind Naruto. Time has passed. Sakura and Sasuke hid in the bushes, but Naruto stayed. "Aren't you going to hide?" "No, and I know this is a teamwork test assignment." "Then why did you stay, my idiot allies?" "So I'll be alone, and you can handle it, no doubt." "Raiten, the lightning cover," said Naruto, and was covered with lightning. Uzumaki appeared next to Kakashi, and was about to grab the bells, but Kakashi dodged. "Are you capable?" said Poop. "Futon, bullets from the wind," Naruto said, and bullets from the wind flew at Kakashi. "Dayton, a wall of mud," parried Kakashi. "I don't think I can do it without Sharingan," Kakashi thought, and took off the blindfold. "Too slow," Naruto said, appearing behind Hitaka. "I don't think so," Kakashi replied, and hit Naruto in the head. Naruto didn't have time to block the blows, and flew into a tree. "We need to try out a new technique," Uzumaki thought. Naruto got up and started folding the seals. After finishing Naruto, he said, "Kaiten, the first stage of purgatory. It started to get very hot around Naruto and Kakashi. Naruto folded the seals again and said Kaiten, the second stage of purgatory. Uzumaki appeared next to Kakashi and wanted to grab Kakashi, but he dodged. Damn, I won't have time to stop, Naruto thought, and crashed into a tree. The touch of the wood caught fire. If he had hit, I would have died. He's not as simple as I thought. Damn, I didn't hit it, Naruto thought. Chidori, Kakashi said, and ran at Naruto. If it hits, then I will not live, and I will not be able to destroy the village. From these thoughts, Naruto opened his right eye. Sharingan, Kakashi thought, and stopped for a moment. Naruto took advantage of Hataka's stop and approached him. The second stage of purgatory, Naruto said, approaching Kakashi. Damn it, Kakashi said and jumped back. I missed it again, but it's not so important. Shinsei, you've lost, Naruto said, closing his eye. What? I asked Kakashi and looked at the belt, but I didn't see any bells. They're here, shaking the bells, Naruto said. When you took them away, at the very beginning I created a clone, then I started a fight with you, and you lured me to a clone. That's right. Sakura, Sasuke, can you come out? Kakashi and Sus shouted. Genins came out of the bushes. And who will you give the bells to? Kakashi asked, looking at Naruto. Uzumaki looked at Sasuke and threw the bells to him. Why him? It will be more useful than Sakura. In missions, the result is important. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. At this training ground at 10 a.m. Sakura and Sasuke are free, but you stay Naruto. 2 Genins left, but Naruto and Kakashi stayed. So, where did you get the Sharingan? Kakashi asked, looking at Naruto's right eye. You know who I am and who is sealed in me. Yes, and what does it have to do with me? Yes. Well, I was attacked once, and then my eye was gouged out. Then I started training, and one evening, I was attacked by 2 Uchiha. They were weak, but one had a Sharingan, and I took one eye. He told an invention. Naruto's story. Who is your teacher? I don't have a teacher, I always trained alone, and was able to defeat the Uchiha. Yes, well, no more questions. I have one? Which ones? Teach how to use the eye and use the technique that was in my hand. Yes, good. Then let's start training. All right. To use Chidori easily, you need a Sharingan, but there are no problems with this. MGM. Open your eye and direct the chakra there and carefully memorize the seals. Naruto did everything as Kakashi said. Hatake began to slowly fold the seals, and after 2 seconds, a clot of lightning appeared in his hand. Remember? Yes. Naruto repeated the seals, and repeated the technique the first time. How? Hatake asked in surprise. I don't know, it just happened somehow. You're a genius. Thank you. So, don't show the Sharingan to anyone, otherwise there will be questions, and cover your eye with a blindfold. All right. I'll teach Sharingan how to use it later. Okay, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. Now we'll go to Hokage and take the mission of rank D, Kakashi said. Kakashi-sensei, I think we can handle the mission of the Shi rank calmly, Naruto said. You and I can handle it, but Sasuke and Sakura can't, and they don't have combat experience. And how will they gain experience if they constantly sit in the village? Through sparring. You will hold back, but the opponents will not. So, I've said it all, we're taking a D-rank mission, and that's it, Hatake said in a firm voice. Okay, but just do these missions without me. Do you take a little on yourself? Uchiha asked and activated the Sharingan. Oh, how scary. Do you think you can beat me with your weak eyes? You don't even have 2 volumes. Can we check it out? Kakashi-sensei, do you mind if we spar while looking at sensei? Naruto asked. I don't mind, but there will be a couple of conditions. Which ones? 1. You won't use that fiery one. 2. You will not use lethal techniques. All right. Naruto and Sasuke stood in front of each other and prepared for battle. 1, 2, 3 started. Sasuke took off and, taking out a kunai, flew to Uzumaki. Too slow, Naruto said, and dodged. I'll show you how to move. Naruto ran up to Sasuke in a split second and kicked him in the stomach. From this blow, Uchiha flew into the sofa. Hell, even Sharingan didn't help me see his movement. With such abilities, I will never take revenge on Itachi, Sasuke thought. Uchiha got up and, folding the seals, released a fireball. Too slow and weak, Naruto said, and folded the seals only. He also released a fireball that was 3 times bigger than Sasuke's. Naruto's technique absorbed Sasuke's technique and flew on. Damn, I won't be back in time. Sasuke thought and closed his eyes. That's enough, Kakashi said, and a wall of mud appeared in front of Sasuke. So you've seen the difference between us. And what would you know, Itachi would have dodged this technique without any problems, Naruto said with a fake smile. Sasuke didn't say anything. Naruto, that's enough. Now we are going to the cage, Kakashi said with a menacing look. Go without me, Naruto replied, and disappeared into Shunshin. Naruto appeared in his room and lay down on the bed. Hello, Naruto-kun, Arakamaru said, appearing in his student's room. Hello, sensei. How are your workouts going? This training cannot be called. I was able to pass Kakashi's test and learned his own technique and also made fun of Uchiha. Is it clear why you came? In a couple of months, you will have a Chunin exam, and in the 3rd stage, I will attack Konoha. Great? During this time, I will try. I'm trying to learn as many techniques as possible. Well, when there is an attack, you will have to voluntarily surrender and accept the death penalty. You will most likely be executed by Danza, and he has the Sharingan of the legendary Uchiha Shisui. I see, but how am I supposed to get out? There will also be a bunch of Jonins and Anbu. Don't worry, I'll take care of that. Okay, when do I start using the damn seal? Exactly, here you go, said Orochimaru, and threw Naruto a scroll. Everything about printing is written here. Thank you. Please, well, I'm off, Arakamaru replied and disappeared. Naruto was practicing using the cursed seal when he felt the chakra on the tree. Kakashi-san, I noticed you. I thought you would. We have a C-rank mission tomorrow, you're coming, right? What time and where are we meeting? At 8:00 at the village gate. All right. Kakashi disappeared into Shunshin, and Naruto stayed to train. Naruto entered the house and saw the whole family gathered. And where did you go? Kushina asked angrily. And since when did you start wondering what I was doing? Naruto asked coldly. You're my son, and it's okay that I'm interested in your life. I don't consider you a mother, and you are Minato, and you are Namika. How dare you? Namika asked, standing in a fighting stance. There was a knock on the door, and Namika went to open it. Hello, Jiraiya-sensei. Namika shouted and threw her arms around Tom's neck. Hello, hello. Jiraiya answered happily. Oh, you're here, looking at Naruto, said Jiraiya. Naruto, without answering anything, went to his room. At 8:00 Naruto was standing at the main gate of the village. Hello, Naruto, said Kakashi. Hello, is this our customer? Naruto asked, looking at the old man. Yes, this is Tazuna, and this is your 3rd student. He looked weak, the old man said. It's only in appearance, but as it is, he is 2nd in strength, Kakashi replied. Are you the 1st? Yes. Team 7 together with the customer were walking along the forest path when they saw a puddle. Everyone, except Kakashi and Naruto, did not attach importance to this puddle. What kind of banal trap is this? Naruto thought and, folding the seals, released a powerful bolt of lightning into a puddle. Demon, are you completely out of your mind? Sakura asked. Pig, shut your mouth, Naruto replied, and 2 Nukanins flew out of the puddle from the hidden fog. Naruto interrogated them, and it turned out that a certain Gata hired them to kill Tazun. Tazuna told everything according to the canon, and the team continued on its way. Get down. Kakashi shouted and put Sakura and Tazuna on the ground. Sasuke also lay down, and Naruto stopped the sword of his katana. You're not a bad kid, said the man with the bandages on his face. Zabuza Momoki, but Kennen of the hidden fog, said Naruto, and threw the sword behind Buse. Let's see who is better at wielding a sword. And you are quite self-confident. And with you there is also a copying ninja Kakashi. Naruto, are you sure you can handle it? Kakashi asked. Yes, and don't you dare get involved in our fight. Well, let's get started. Zabuza shouted and attacked Naruto. Naruto parried the blow and attacked back, simultaneously directing the lightning chakra into the sword. Uzumaki struck, but Zabuza deflected the blow. The fight lasted 10 minutes, and Naruto took off the blindfold. "That's how you also have Sharingan," Zabuza said contentedly. Naruto started moving and blocking blows twice as fast. "And you became faster by blocking the blow," Zabuza said. "That's not all," Naruto said, and used the lightning cover. After that, Zabuza started missing all the punches. Naruto wanted to strike the last blow, but 3 shinbones flew into Zabuza's neck. "I'll take him away," said the man in the mask of Anbu Mist. "Wait, first I'll check if he's alive," Naruto said, and walked up to the swordsman. Naruto began to feel his pulse, and, not feeling a pulse, got up. "Are you done?" Anbu asked. "Yes, but did you really think you could deceive me?" Naruto asked, and took off Anbu's head, and then pierced the heart for the booze. Everyone was shocked that Naruto was able to defeat the swordsman. All the events went according to the canon, but only Geidi and his dogs came to the bridge, but Naruto effortlessly cut everyone. Team 7 came to the village and headed for Hokage. Kakashi knocked firm behind the door. It was heard, "Come in." "Minato-sama, the mission has been successfully completed. Were there any difficulties during the task?" "Yes, we were attacked by the renegades of the mist, and after them, we were attacked by Zabuza Mami and his partner." "Who defeated the swordsman?" "Naruto." "What?" Minato jumped up from his chair and stared at his son in surprise. "Why are you so surprised?" Naruto asked coldly. "Don't talk to Hokage like that, you idiot," Sakura said, and tried to hit Naruto. "Sakura, shut up," Kakashi said, and stopped the blow. "So why are you so surprised?" Repeated, Naruto asked. "Well, that's because you didn't pay attention to me. That's because I was called some kind of trash Hokage," Naruto said angrily. "And I can also fight at Kakashi's level, and I'm much stronger on Mika." After finishing speaking, Naruto's eye turned red, and he looked at Sakura. "And now I'm going to talk to you." Naruto grabbed Sakura by the hair and was transported to the Forest of Death. "What are you doing?" "Damn demon. I have repeatedly told you not to call me that," Naruto replied and hit Sakura in the stomach. Sakura flew into a tree, and Naruto started beating Sakura. As a result, Sakura's arms, ribs, and right leg are broken. "Naruto, stop!" Kakashi shouted and stopped Naruto. "Take this bitch to the hospital," Naruto said and disappeared. Uzumaki appeared in front of the store and entered it. "I got a pack of cigarettes, going up to the cellar," Naruto said. "They are still small." Naruto took off the blindfold and introduced the cellar to a weak genjutsu. The man gave Naruto the pack and, taking it, Naruto left. "So what should I do?" Naruto thought. So, in thought, Naruto walked until the morning. "Hey, why are you sitting here alone?" A girl with white hair and blue eyes asked. "Yes, I'm fine." "Naruto, Ina, what are you doing so early on the street?" "I don't know, I was walking and now it's morning." "It's clear, but I'm going to help my mom in the store." "Got it? Is it true that you beat Sakura?" "Yes." "And for what?" "If it's not a secret, she called me a demon, insulted me and so on." "It's clear, but it's what she needs. She's always been arrogant and has remained." "Wow, I thought you'd call me a demon too. She's your friend." "I haven't considered her a friend for several months." "I see, he can walk you out." "Well, you can." Ina, one of the few, treated Naruto normally. Naruto and Ina, talking, reached the store, and, saying goodbye, dispersed. "Oh, Kakashi-sensei, what are you doing here?" Naruto asked, looking at his sensei. "Yes, I want to buy groceries, otherwise I've already eaten everything." "I see. By the way, Sakura is fine, only fractures." "I don't care about her. If I had my way, I would have killed her." "It's clear that you have an exam for Chunin soon, but because you beat Sakura, you won't be able to participate. If we can, I'll just ask Hokage to make an exception." "Well, try it." Naruto, using Shumshins, appeared in Kaga's office. "Minato, I learned from Kakashi that we have an exam for Chunin soon." "Yes, but you beat Sakura." Yes, so make an exception for Sasuke and me." "Are you sure you can participate together?" "I told you yesterday that I'm at the level of Kakashi, and Sasuke is already at the level of Chunin." "Okay, I'll make an exception for you." After the desired answer, Naruto disappeared. Naruto was walking through the village and heard a little boy asking for help. "Hey, Painted, let the kid go," Naruto said in a sepulchral voice. "What? I'm going to break your bones now," the boy replied, and began to untie the doll. "Show jumping, stop," said someone in the tree. "Ha, good. What's your name?" the man asked and jumped down from the tree. Before asking for a person's name, you need to introduce yourself. "My name is Nogar's dog. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Are you by any chance the son of the fourth Hokage?" the girl with the fan behind her asked. "Exactly, it's me, and you are Kazekaga's children." "Yes, it's clear, if anything. This is the grandson of the third Hokage, and if you touch him again, I will destroy you. You understand?" "Yeah," Gaara replied, and left with the team. "Thank you," Kanehamaru said and ran away. Time skip before the exam. Sasuke and Naruto passed the first stage without difficulties, and were already standing in the forest of death. "Sasuke, I will create clones, and they will explore the forest, and if possible, they will take the scrolls we need. And we will move to the tower." "All right." Naruto and Sasuke were moving towards the tower when suddenly they were attacked by a huge snake. So Orochimaru started acting. Naruto thought and disappeared. "Hello, Sasuke-kun." The snake hissed and got out of the snake. "Who are you?" Sasuke asked with a tremor in his voice. "I am Orochimaru, and I know about your thirst for revenge. It's none of your business. I can give you strength. Will I be able to become stronger and Itachi?" "You can. Where is the warranty?" "The guarantee is me," Naruto said, and appeared next to Orochimaru. "Naruto, how do you know him?" "I am his disciple. He trained me to the level of Kakashi, and at the last stage, we will attack Konoha. And you can safely leave the village, and if they follow you, then Orochimaru's people will help you." "Okay, I agree." "Great." Orochimaru hissed and put a seal on Sasuke. "Naruto, here you go," Orochimaru said, and threw the necessary scroll to Naruto. "Thank you." Naruto took Sasuke in his arms and carried him to the village. Time of qualifying fights. Kiba and Nezuka versus Naruto Uzumaki, the examiner said, and Naruto and Kiba jumped into the arena. "Get ready to collect the bones from the dregs of Hokage." Naruto remained silent, and the examiner began the fight. Kiba attacked Naruto, but he sent Kiba into the wall with one powerful blow. "Well, will you repeat your words?" Naruto asked and started beating Kiba. "Stop. The fight is over." "The winner Naruto Uzumaki," shouted the examiner, and the fight was over. All other fights were held according to the canon. Time until the final stage. "Naruto, can you help with the training?" Sasuke asked, standing on the training ground. "I can. What kind of poems do you have?" "Fire and lightning." "So, you already have Sharingan. And there are 2 Tamae in it." "All right, repeat the seals after me." Sasuke activated the Sharingan and began repeating the seals for Naruto. Naruto finished folding the seals and released a huge fire dragon. Sasuke also tried, but he got a little dragon. "So, you have to learn this technique in a month, and it should be the size of my dragon." "Well, what if I can learn this technique in less than a month?" "Here you go," Naruto said, and threw Sasuke 3 scrolls. "Well, I went to train." Naruto disappeared and appeared in Orochimaru's lair and trained there for the rest of the month, the day of the final stage of the exam. The first fight of Naruto Uzumaki and Neji Hyuga. "Your fate is too loose to me," Neji said, preparing for the fight. "Yeah, I do." "Fight." The examiner shouted, and Naruto attacked Nagi. Naruto stabbed Neji in the stomach, and he flew away. "Damn, he's too fast," Nagi thought, and got up from the ground. Naruto folded a couple of seals, and a powerful lightning technique flew into the south. "Heavenly rotation," Neji retorted, "and you are quite strong for a genin, but not enough to defeat me," Naruto said, and made a Chidori. Uzumaki ran at Neji at full speed and pierced his stomach. "Stop. The fight is over. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki." All the fights went according to the canon, and when the Gaara and Sasuke's fight began, feathers began to fall into the arena. "And Reikimaru-sensei, I came here to help," Naruto said, appearing next to Snake Sanin. Naruto, why are you on Orochimaru's side?" Minato asked in shock. "And you think with your head, a premature genius," Naruto replied angrily, and was covered with fox chakra. Naruto, just don't strain too much, Arakamaru said. At the time of training, Arakamaru and Naruto Uzumaki learned to control 4 fox tails. Naruto furiously attacked Minato, but he disappeared and appeared 10 meters from Arakamaru. Don't forget about me, Arakamaru said, and also attacked Minato. Hell, against Sannin and Jinchuriki, even it will be hard for me against both of them. The fight went in favor of the attackers, but Arakamaru arranged everything so that Naruto lost, and he disappeared. So, now the execution of the criminal will take place. And part-time son of Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, he is accused of attacking Konoha, shouted Danza. Standing in front of the residence of Konoha. Your last words, Danza said, addressing Naruto. Take care of the eye, Naruto replied, and tore out Danza's eye. Arakamaru Shinsei, you're late, Naruto said, standing with Shinsei. Sorry, I was too lazy to go. Now listen to me. I am Naruto Uzumaki, now a Nukenin of the SS rank, and anyone who touches Yamanaka personally will die from my sword. And also expect an attack, shouted Naruto, and disappeared with Arakamaru. Arakamaru and Naruto appeared in the lair, and Arakamaru immediately began to perform an eye transplant operation on Shisu and Naruto. After an hour of surgery, Naruto woke up with a blindfold over his eyes. Are you awake? Orochimaru asked. Yes, when can I take off the blindfold? In a week. And how am I going to hide 2 Sharingans? I can't deactivate them. There is only one option, but it is very long and difficult. What kind of option? You will need to join the Akatsuki and take Shisui's second eye. And who has it? Itachi, and he transplanted the eye into a crow, and his crow lives in the world of summoning. It's clear, but in Akatsuka, you just can't join, right? That's right, in a week you will be heading to the summoning world, and there you will have to learn the hermit mode. And try to fully control the 9-tailed one. I see. A week later, Naruto took off the bandage and immediately fell down. Oh shit, I didn't expect that 2 different Sharingans would take away so much chakra. Naruto stood up and closed his eyes again. Naruto, why are you walking with your eyes closed? Arakamaru asked as he came around the corner. Sharingans take away too much chakra. I see, it's time for you to go to the world of summoning. I know. And also, if you're interested, Sasuke will come tomorrow and start training. Yeah, well, I'm off. Naruto folded the seal and disappeared. So, where is it? Naruto thought. Uzumaki opened his eyes and saw a green clearing and a large lake. Who are you? Someone asked behind Naruto. Naruto turned around and saw 2 small toads. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I arrived here by folding the summoning seals. I see, my name is Fukasaku, and this is my wife Shima. I see. Come with us, we will take you to the sage. Naruto and the toads came to the sage, and Uzumaki saw a huge old toad. Hello, Gamamaru-sama, Fukasaku said. Hello, Fukasaku. And who is that with you? The sage greeted and asked, looking at Naruto. This is Naruto Uzumaki, and he used the summoning technique and got here. Is that clear? The sage stretched out. And why did you bring me here? Naruto asked. First of all, who are your parents? The sage asked. I will say right away, I am a CC rank Nukenin, and my so-called parents of the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze, and Kushina Uzumaki's mother. At such a young age, you are already a Nukenin, of the highest rank, and the son of a Hokage. But there is still some very dark chakra flowing in you. I forgot to tell you, the 9-tailed one is sealed in me. I see, the sage drawled again. The prophecy speaks of a boy who will either destroy the world or save it. Is that me? Naruto asked without emotion. Most likely, we will teach you all the techniques that we know, and most importantly, the hermit mode. Well, I have, if anything, 2 different Sharingans. This will make our occupation easier. Naruto, let's sign the draft contract first, Gamabunta said. Come on. Gamabunta took the scroll, and Naruto signed the contract. Time skip is 1 year old. Naruto, we taught you everything we know, and you were able to bring the hermit mode to the ideal, Fukasaku said. Thank you, but I have to go. Just don't forget to come to us, Shima said. All right. Naruto folded the seal and disappeared. Listen, Naruto, are you going to go to Akatsuki right away? Kurama asked. Flashback. Naruto was practicing using the hermit mode and accidentally got into the subconscious. Listen, Fox, maybe you should stop playing hard to get and tell me your name already. Naruto asked, standing in front of the cage. What's the problem with you using Shisui's Sharingan and finding out my name? The fox asked menacingly. I don't want that. Really? Yes, if I wanted to do that, I would have already found out your name. You're right. So be it, my name is Kurama. Well, finally. The end of the flashback. No, first I'm going to Konoha and eat ramen, and then Kina. Do you love her? I don't know, I don't feel anything at all. That's right, I forgot about it. Who are you? The man asked, coming out of the shadows. Sasuke, didn't you recognize me? Naruto asked, looking at Uchiha. Naruto, is that you? Sasuke asked in surprise. Yes, after the attack on Konoha, I went to the world of conscription and stayed there for a year. Of course, I don't mind sparring. I don't mind, but I need to talk to Irakimaru first. He's in his office. Thank you. Naruto went to Shinsei's office and entered the office without knocking. So he came back, said Irakimaru without a bit of surprise. And you haven't changed in any way. Yeah, how was the training? Great, I learned a lot of techniques and mastered the hermit mode perfectly. What's your call, Toad? I see, but I was hoping for snakes. Shinsei, you can tell me where Akatsuki's lair is by tomorrow. Okay, but then I went. Naruto disappeared and appeared near the village. Kurama, do you think I should kill the guards? You can, but only without noise. All right. Naruto appeared at the village gate in a split second and beheaded two guards without noise. Naruto calmly walked through the gate and headed to the Ramina. When Uzumaki came, he ordered 3 portions of ramen and ate this divine game. I went to Yamanak's store. Hello, I need a big bouquet, Naruto said, entering the store. Of what colors? The woman asked, standing at the cash register. Any? Well, the woman gave Naruto a large bouquet of lilies. Thank you. Naruto put it down. He put a big wad of money on the table and disappeared. So, where do I look for Ina? Naruto thought. You're a great sensor. Scan the village and feel Ina's chakra, Kurama said. Exactly. Naruto closed his eyes and started scanning the village. 2 minutes later, Naruto opened his eyes and headed towards the Hokage building at high speed. When Naruto got there, he jumped up and flew to the windowsill. Naruto, hide the chakra, Kurama said. Exactly. Naruto hid the chakra and looked through the window. Both of them. And this is Hokage's office, Naruto thought. And here's Ina. Okay, I'm not going to break in and wait until she comes out, Naruto thought again. After 10 minutes, Ina left the building and walked towards the house. My way out, Naruto thought. As soon as Ina approached the house, Naruto appeared in front of her. Naruto, what are you doing here? Ina screamed. Don't shout, I've come to you. To me? But why? Ina asked in surprise. You're my only friend, so I came to you. I see. By the way, this is for you. Naruto handed Ina a huge bouquet. Thank you very much. Shall we go for a walk? Naruto asked. Come on. Naruto and Ina walked around Konoha and reached Mount Hokage at such a pace. During this time, Naruto told Ina about his training and about Sasuke. Naruto Sasuke doesn't want to return to Konoha. Ina asked with hope in her eyes. No, okay. Ina said with great sadness. Ina, I'm going to ask the question directly. What question? Don't you want to date me? What? Don't you want to date me? Naruto, are you serious? Absolutely. I'm sorry, but no, I love Sasuke. Is that clear? Naruto sadly stretched out and disappeared. And what are you going to do? Kurama asked. I do not know, Naruto replied without any emotion. Hey Naruto, cheer up. I tried to support a fox friend. Easy to say. Listen, Ina kept you from completely destroying the leaf. Well, yes, but now you can destroy this damn village. I can't. I'm not strong enough alone. Maybe I'll kill more than half of the shinobi, but I won't do anything against Minato. What about my strength? Minato is faster than me. Exactly. I came up with it. So what are you up to? You can also sneak into the Kage building and pick up the secret scrolls, and they will contain 100% Minato techniques. Exactly. Naruto ran towards the village of List, and after 20 minutes, stood on the roof of the residence. So how do I get into the vault without noise? Naruto thought. Just create a clone, and arrange a riot on the first floor. Minato will go 100%. To sort it out, and at this moment you calmly take the scrolls. Great idea. Naruto did exactly as Kurama said, and 3 minutes later, he was standing in Kage's office. So where are the scrolls? Naruto looked around the office and saw Hokage on some papers on the table. Naruto came over and started reading. The contents of the letter. Task 4 Team 7. Find Orochimaru's lair and, if possible, find Naruto on Mikaze Uzumaki and Sasuke Uchiha, as well as kill Orochimaru. The team consists of Namika Namikaze Uzumaki, Sakura Haruna, SAI, Captain Kakashi Hatake, Signature, 4th Hokage. Oh, that's interesting, Naruto thought, and took the letter away. Naruto looked around the office again and looked at the door. Naruto, there's a seal, Kurama said. I felt it. Naruto folded the seals and touched the door. The door lit up for a second, then opened. Naruto entered the room and, having found the necessary scrolls, disappeared. Naruto appeared in Orochimaru's lair and headed to his office. Uzumaki knocked on the door and heard enter. What happened? Orochimaru asked while sitting on a chair. I was here in Hokage's office, and this is what I found. Naruto took out a letter that he took from the table. Kage put it in front of Shinsei. Orochimaru took the letter and began to read. When he finished reading, he turned his gaze to Naruto, and, what did you forget in Kage's office? Yes, I stole a couple of Minato techniques, namely the Flight of the Thunder God and Rasengan. Is that clear? All right. The chance of being found is very small, but it doesn't hurt to be safe. Okay, you think about what to do, and I'll go study techniques. When Naruto came out of the office, he was met by Sasuke. Naruto, you said we were going to have a fight. I remember. Let's go outside. Naruto and Sasuke went outside and stood opposite each other. Sasuke, use all your techniques, Naruto said and opened his eye, in which there was a 3-wash Sharingan. All right, 1, 2, 3, let's get started. Naruto shouted, and Sasuke attacked him. Sasuke appeared in front of Naruto in a second and kicked him. Naruto easily deflected this blow and struck back with his fist in Sasuke's face. Sasuke flew into a tree and tore it down. Kaiten, the great fireball, folded Sasuke's seals and released a huge ball of fire. Kaiten, the great fireball, Naruto also folded the seals and released the ball. The ball is 5 times bigger than Sasuke's. Listen, Naruto, how about you repeat all the techniques for Sasuke? Kurama asked with a smirk. Come on. Naruto's ball swallowed Sasuke's ball and flew on. The ball approached Sasuke, and Naruto was already disappointed that he would fall. But Sasuke was gone. Chidori. Sasuke shouted from behind Naruto. Too slow, Naruto said and disappeared. Chidori said Naruto quietly behind Sasuke's back. You've lost. Sasuke turned around and saw that Naruto had stopped his hand a couple of centimeters from his face. Why didn't you use your sword? Sasuke asked with disappointment. You are not worthy to see the blade of my sword. From the very beginning, I just wanted to repeat the techniques after you, and you lost so quickly. I see, you can teach me your techniques. I can, but now I need to learn two techniques of rank C. I see, Sasuke replied in disappointment. Don't worry, I think I'll learn these techniques in a week. Okay, I'll be waiting, Sasuke said, and went to the lair. Naruto created 5 clones and left them to collect natural energy in the cursed seal, and he went to his room. Kurama, how can I learn Minato techniques faster? Naruto asked as he entered the room. The fastest way is to head to Konoha and see these techniques live, and then copy their ability. With the help of Sharingan Shisui. Great idea, I already have a plan. Which one? I'll create clones again and send him to fight Minato. And I'm sure he uses these techniques. A good option. Naruto, after the conversation, lay down on the bed and fell asleep. As soon as Naruto woke up, he immediately went to Konoha and in a couple of dozen minutes was on the roof of the residence. "Will you make your plan a reality?" Kurama asked. "Yeah." Naruto created a clone and ordered him to attack Minato. The clone broke into the office and attacked Hokage. After a couple of minutes, Naruto's clone and Minato were outside the village, and the original was sitting on a tree and closely watching Minato Shisui's Sharingan. Hokage scattered kunai within a radius of 20 meters and began to teleport to them. Here, Minato teleports to Kunai, who was closest to the clone, and, quickly creating a Rasengan, stabbed the clone in the back. Naruto's clone dissipated, and the fifth Anbu ran up to Minato. "Hokage-sama, are you okay?" Oden and Anbu asked. "Yes, who was it?" "As much as I don't want to believe it, but most likely it was Naruto." "Naruto?" everyone asked Anbu at once. "Yes, he had 3 mustaches on his cheeks." "I see, but where is Naruto then?" "It was his clone, but I do not know where the original is." "I'm here," Naruto said and jumped down from the tree. Minato and Anbu tensed up and prepared for battle. "What do you need?" Minato asked menacingly. "Just like that. I just stole the scrolls with your techniques and thought about how to learn them faster, and so I came up with it. I'll just make you use these techniques." "And you think you could learn these techniques just by looking at them?" "Exactly," Naruto said, and showed Sharingan Shisui. "From where? Don't you remember?" Minato thought for a second and said, "That's right, you stole it from Danza." "Yeah, even if it is, it's impossible to learn these techniques so quickly." "Really?" Naruto asked and created Rasengan. "How?" "That's it," Naruto replied and picked up Minato's kunai. "Why do you need this kunai?" "And so, while I was watching the fight, I realized that for the Thunder God to fly, you need to make a formula and apply it to a weapon or something else." "How did you figure that out?" "Sharingan is a cool thing." Naruto looked at Kun and threw him at Minato. Hokage was already ready to dodge, but Naruto appeared with kunai. "Rasengan!" Naruto shouted and tried to strike at Minato, but he disappeared. "Damn, you're a fast bastard." "I know." "All right, I'll go." "Do you think we'll let you go?" one of the Anbu asked. "Yeah," Naruto replied, and stabbed Anbu Chidori. "Wait, Minato," Naruto said and disappeared. Naruto appeared a couple of 100 meters from the battlefield and ran towards the shelter at full speed. When Uzumaki ran up to the den, he saw Sasuke standing on the street with Orochimaru and Namika, Sakura, Kakashi. And some kid were standing in front of them. "Oh, do we have guests?" Naruto asked as he approached Shinsei. "Naruto," shouted Kakashi, Sakura, and Namika. "Well, brother, go back to the village," Namika shouted. She realized what she said. "I'm a CC rank renegade, plus only that I attacked Hokage, and you're asking me to come back." "Well," Namika faltered. "Sasuke, can you deal with them?" Naruto asked. "Yeah," Sasuke replied and, folding the seals, said Kiri. A huge dragon made of lightning headed for the Konokovites. The technique almost reached the goal, but a couple of meters the technique disappeared. "How?" Sasuke asked, puzzled. "Look into Kakashi's right eye," Naruto said. Sasuke looked at Kakashi and saw a mangekyo rank in his eye socket. "Where did you get the mangekyo?" "It was given to him by a friend in the war," Naruto replied. "Naruto, how do you know that?" Kakashi asked in surprise. "It doesn't matter. What are we going to do?" Naruto asked Orochimaru. "Fight." Orochimaru answered and appeared in front of Sakura, and then struck her in the face. Sasuke also quickly appeared in front of Sasuke and kicked him in the stomach. "So, well, I'm going to fight with you," Naruto said, looking at Namika and Kakashi. "Do you think you have enough strength?" "That fat guy trained me like that," Namika said haughtily. "Well, let's check it out." Naruto created a clone and covered it up. "I told him to draw a formula, and he ran at the opponents." Raiten, Scarlet Lightning, having folded Naruto's seals, released the technique into the opponents. Futen, the air wall, parried at Mick. The technicians collided, and Naruto's technique was able to overcome the air wall and evaporated. Raiten, Chidori, heard Naruto firm behind the name of the technique. Rasengan parried Naruto and hit Rasengan in Kakashi's technique. Rasengan defeated Chidori and hit Hataka in the stomach. From such a blow, Kakashi flew off and passed out. Rasengan shouted at Namika and tried to stab Naruto in the back. Naruto turned around and, grabbing Namiki's hand, threw it into a tree. Kaiten, the dance of fire dragons, Naruto released 3 dragons into Namika, and they hit exactly the target. "Are you done?" Growling asked, Growl appearing in front of Naruto. "Yeah, where's Sasuke?" "I'm here," Sasuke replied, appearing next to Rikimaru. "Don't you feel sorry for your sister?" Looking at Namika, Sasuke asked. "No, and she's probably alive." "Okay, we have to go," said Rikimaru. "And which shelter are we going to now?" Sasuke asked. "To the land of water, I think." "Well, let's go." A day later, Naruto and his companions came to the land of waves. "And Rikimaru, where can I find at least someone from Akatsuki?" Naruto asked. "According to my data, 2 of the Akatsuki should be here." "Who?" "Itachi and Kisame." "Is Itachi here?" Sasuke asked angrily. "Yes, I went to look for him." "Wait, do you think you have the strength to kill him?" Naruto asked. "Well, here's the answer. You go, Sarakimaru, and I'll go look for them," Naruto said and disappeared. Naruto entered the village, and, entering the first restaurant, saw 2 people in raincoats with red clouds. Both of them? "Are you lucky?" Kurama said. "Yeah, hi." Naruto said and took Kisame from the plate. "A piece of fish." "Hey kid, did you get anything wrong?" Getting up from his seat, asked Kisame. "Are you sorry?" "Who are you?" Itachi asked and also got up from his seat. "Naruto Uzumaki, son of the 4th Hokage, and renegade SSS plus rank." "Naruto, is it really you?" Itachi asked, surprised. "Yeah, does this little eye remind you of anything?" Naruto asked and opened his eye. "Sharingan, Shisui, where did you get it from?" Itachi almost shouted. "Itachi, why are you so surprised?" Kisame asked and looked at Naruto. "This is the Sharingan of the legendary Uchiha Shisui. Where did you get it from?" "Itachi, you know Danza." "I know. I took that eye from him." "Ah, now I understand why you're a renegade. What do you want from us?" Kisame asked. "I want to join Akatsuki. You do understand that we don't take everyone in a row, right?" Itachi asked. "Yeah, let's fight, and you'll decide whether I'm strong or not." "All right." Naruto, Kisame, and Itachi left the restaurant, headed outside the village. "Let's fight here," Itachi said, stopping in a clearing. "Okay," Naruto replied, and got into a fighting stance. "Itachi-san, can I fight him?" Kisame asked. "I'm one against the 2 of you." "Are you so confident in your abilities?" Itachi asked. "Yeah, well, okay." Itachi and Kisame stood in front of Naruto and prepared for battle. "Let's get started." Itachi shouted and ran at Naruto. Uzumaki took out his sword and also ran at Itachi. "Suiton, water bullets," Kisame said, and fired 7 water bullets from behind Itachi. Naruto threw the sword at Itachi, and he folded the seals, said Kaiten, the first stage of purgatory. Then Naruto folded the seals again and said Kaiten, the second stage of purgatory. When the bullets flew up to Naruto and evaporated, Itachi beat off Naruto's sword with a kunai and continued to run to Uzumaki. When Itachi ran up to Naruto, he tried to stab Uzumaki in the face, but he was faster. Itachi missed the target and flew into a tree from a blow on the back. "Don't forget about me," Kisame said from behind Naruto. "I didn't forget," Naruto replied, and threw the kunai at Kisame. Akatsuki's member was already ready to fight off kunai, but at the last moment Naruto appeared in a black flash. With Reikiri in his right hand and kunai in his left. Naruto struck at Kisame, but at the last moment Kisame exposed his sword, and the technique evaporated. Kaiten, the great fireball, heard from behind Naruto, and, pushing off from Kisame's sword, climbed a tree. The ball hit Kisame's sword and also disappeared. "So your sword can absorb techniques?" Naruto asked, sitting on a tree branch. "I guessed right, but you're pretty fast," Itachi said. "Yeah, but I haven't used half of my powers yet." "What?" Itachi looked at Naruto and saw that his eyes were closed. "Well, okay, I think we should finish." Naruto opened his eye and Itachi saw a 3-volume Sharingan. I agree, Itachi replied, and also activated the Sharingan. Naruto scattered kunai across the clearing and began to teleport. Damn, too fast, Itachi and Kisame thought. Shadow cloning technique, Naruto said, and together with the clones began to teleport. I didn't think that I would have to use the Mangekyou, Itachi thought, and activated the Mangekyou Sharingan. I can't see your mother anyway. Rasengan heard Kisame and received a technique in the stomach. From such a blow, he flew a couple of meters away and passed out. Kaiten, the second stage of purgatory, heard Itachi and felt his back start to burn. Damn it. Itachi threw off his cloak and jumped away from the kunai. Phew, I spent a lot of chakras, Naruto said. Naruto, appearing 5 meters away from Itachi. This is the flight of the Thunder God, more confirmed than Itachi asked. Exactly, and this is your Mangekyou. Looking into Itachi's eyes, Naruto asked. So you lost, Itachi said, and used Genjutsu. Lost? Naruto asked in his subconscious. Exactly, I don't think you can get out of my Genjutsu alone, and he's not alone, Kurama said. That's right, you're a Jinchuriki. Yeah. Kurama threw Itachi out of Naruto's subconscious. Now it's my turn, Naruto said. Naruto used Genjutsu with Shisui's eye. I lost, Itachi said in his subconscious. Don't even try to get out, I can't get out of Genjutsu Shisui alone. I see, well then I won. Well, did I pass? Naruto asked. Yes, when we go to your lair, when Kisame wakes up, I'm already awake. You hit me pretty good, getting up from the ground, Kisame said. Then let's go, Itachi said. Yeah, Naruto and 2 of the Akatsuki came to the village 2 days later. Is this your lair in this village? Naruto asked, looking around the village. Yeah, Kizun replied. 3 people were walking through the village, and Naruto saw residents who were walking in the rain. We have come, Itachi said, and stopped at a huge door. Itachi folded the seals and touched the door, after which it swung open. The 3 men went into the den, and the door closed behind them. Kisame, you are free, and we will go to the leader. Yeah. Naruto and Itachi walked through the corridors and stopped at one of the doors. Uchiha knocked, and when he heard enter, he opened the door and went into the office. Itachi, who's with you? A man with red hair and pins all over his body asked. This is Naruto Uzumaki, the son of the 4th Hokage and a renegade of the SSS rank. It is clear, as I understand it, he either defeated you or you recognized his strength, said the leader of the organization. He was able to defeat me and Kisame. I see. My name is Pain. I am the leader of the Akatsuki organization. I've already figured that out. Now Itachi will take you to your room, and then he will come to you. A girl named Kona. She will bring you a cloak and a ring. Got it? Can I ask a question? Naruto asked. Ask me. Is it Renningen? Naruto asked, looking into his eyes. How do you know? The stump asked with surprise. I know a lot of things. Okay, are we free? Itachi asked. Yes. Naruto and Itachi left the office, and then headed to Naruto's room. Is this your room? Itachi said and stopped at the door. Thank you. Naruto entered the room and saw the bed. A table, a bathroom, and a restroom. I should take a shower, Naruto thought, and headed for the shower. After 30 minutes, Naruto got out of the shower and, wearing underpants and pants, heard a knock on the door. Come in. When the door opened, Naruto saw a beautiful girl with a violet. Hi, I'm Conan. The girl greeted and introduced herself. Hi, I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Conan looked at Naruto's torso and blushed a little. Is this for me? Naruto asked, looking at the cloak ring that was in Conan's hands. Ah, why, yes, here you go, Conan said and handed the things over. Thank you. Please, this ring means emptiness. Thank you. Naruto took the cloak and then put the ring on his left little finger. I'm going to go. If anything, dinner will be ready in a day. 10 minutes, there you will meet all the members of the organization. Good. Naruto walked into the kitchen and saw all the members of the Akatsuki. Please pay attention for a moment. Pain shouted, and everyone fell silent. This is Naruto Uzumaki, he is a new member of our organization. Hey kid, can we fight? The man with white hair asked. Hayden, he defeated me and Kisame, Itachi said. Did he beat you? I don't believe it. Is it true? Kisame confirmed. I see. My name is Hayden. My name is Madara. My name is Sasori. My name is Pain. I'm Kakuzu. My name is Zetsu. My name is Itachi. My name is Kisame. My name is Conan. And I'm Toby. So we met, and now we are, Conan said, and everyone began to eat. When Naruto finished, he got up and, taking out the dishes, went into the room. Kurama, don't you think this Toby is strange? Naruto asked while lying on the bed. It's the one who attacked Konoha, because of him I'm in you. I see. You don't care that you were despised in Konoha because of him. Yes, I don't care deeply, and I'm also kind of grateful to him. I'm grateful, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have met. Also true. All right, I'm going to bed. Me too. Naruto woke up from a scream from behind the door. Uzumaki got out of bed and, after doing the morning procedures, left the room and took away that Kakuzu was shouting at Hayden. You bastard, why the fuck did you take my money and spend it on whores? Oh fuck, are you sorry or what? Yes, fuck, it's a pity, shut up already, Itachi said, leaving his room. Good morning, Naruto greeted Itachi. And to you, yawning, Itachi replied. Look, we can talk. We can be outside in 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes later, Naruto went outside and saw Itachi, what he wanted to talk about. You can tell me about Sharingan and teach me how to use it. I can tell you, but why train? I am more than sure that you are more experienced than me in using it. Well, you're right there. Okay, then I'll come into your room in 10 minutes and tell you about Sharingan. All right. After 10 minutes, Naruto heard a knock on his door. Come in. I'm here. Yeah. So, where should I start? I think I'll start with this. When the owner of this Keki Genkai experiences a strong emotional shock in relation to a person dear to him, his brain develops a special form of chakra, which affects the optic nerves, turning eyes in Sharingan. For this reason, the Sharingan is called Kokora Okyu Suhitomi Eye, reflecting the heart. Often, in accordance with the so-called curse of hatred of the Uchiha clan, such emotions are negative, caused by stress, or the loss of a loved one. The emotion can also be positive, due to the desire to protect or reunite with a loved one. Usually, immediately after receiving this power, the increased perception of the user knocks down his coordination, forcing him to subject his own body to overstrain in order to keep up with the increased visual reactions, in connection with which the user gradually adapts to the metamorphoses. Also, during emotional outbursts that provide Sharingan's awakening, Dajutsu can temporarily impair the owner's eyesight until its full manifestation. After learning about the awakening of the Sharingan, the carrier can freely use it. At the first awakening, the iris of the eye turns red and appears around the pupil. 1 volume, but I got 2 volumes in each eye at once. Through training and further use, Sharingan develops the 2nd volume, and then, after full mastering, the 3rd. Like any other Dajutsu, Sharingan can be transplanted to a person who is not a member of the Uchiha clan. Such a user will not be able to deactivate it, and during use consumes more of his chakra than Uchiha, who needs only a small amount of chakra to keep it active. For this reason, non-scientists, as a rule, hide their Sharingans when they do not use them to protect the chakra. Sharingans, which manifest in the same Uchiha, to some extent retain a connection with him, even when the eyes pass into the possession of another user, which allows these people to see the same things. Now let's move on to abilities. Sharingan grants the wearer two main abilities, Desatsugan, Eye of Insight, and Seimingan, Eye of Hypnosis, although these abilities do not depend on a particular eye. The true power of Sharingan is achieved only with both eyes. Even within these two categories, there may be several different, albeit similar abilities. Desatsugen. 1. The user can see the chakra by determining its color to distinguish it by composition and source. Although in this case it is inferior to Bikugen, Sharingan is able to see the chakra through some, but not all, obstacles, as well as detect disturbances in the flow of a person's chakra, for example, those caused by the influence of genjutsu. 2. The user gets incredible clarity of perception, allowing him to read lips or imitate someone's movements with a pencil. In combat, the eye allows the wearer to see fast-moving objects and, being fully developed, provides some predictive capabilities. The user can anticipate the opponent's next move based on the slightest muscle tension in his body, and act accordingly to dodge or intercept the blow. He can also read the enemy's hand seals in order to have an idea of the essence of the technique used, regardless of the speed of its execution, if the hands are not physically hidden from view. Although the Sharingan user can see these things, he also needs the physical ability to process the information obtained visually. With sufficient skill, through eye contact, the user can even penetrate the mind of the target to view her memories. In addition to these abilities, there are two other techniques that Sharingan carriers can use. Izanagi allows the user to change reality for a moment, turning reality into illusion, and illusion into reality, thus avoiding death and rewriting fate. And behind us, it places the victim in an endless loop of repeating events, regardless of the five senses. Being specially designed as a punishment for those who abused because of Naga, the use of any ability leads to the fact that the Sharingan, by whom it is implemented, loses sight up to complete blindness due to, with which the Uchiha clan classified them as Kinju. Evolution. Sharingan can evolve into a Mangekyo Sharingan when a user experiences psychological trauma after losing a loved one. Manjike provides unique, user-specific techniques in addition to the standard capabilities of Sharingan. Upon his awakening, the Sharingan automatically receives 3 volumes, even if the Dojutsu is at an early stage of development. The use of Manjikyu Sharingan eventually causes blindness, but this can be avoided by transplanting another pair of Manjikyu from loved ones, a relative such as a brother, to buy her a Manjike Sharingan, an eternal Manjike Sharingan, the owner of which will never lose his sight. Hokage-sama, we found Arakimaru's lair, Kakashi said, standing in Kagi's office. Was someone there? Yes. Everyone we were looking for was there. And where are they then? We lost dry. Namika was taken to the hospital with severe burns. Sai is also in the hospital with multiple wounds. Sakura had 3 broken ribs. Who caused Namiki's burns? Minato asked angrily. Naruto, what? He also used Rasengan and the flight of the Thunder God. I see, I'll destroy it. But this is your son. I don't consider him my son. And he is Nukanen and CC plus rank. You're free. Kakasha looked reproachfully at Shinsei and left. Cabinet. Leaf. Minato shouted into the void, and a second later, Anbo appeared in a fox mask. Find Naruto at Uzumaki on Mikaze and destroy him. There is. Free. So, now we're going to start training your eyes, Itachi said, standing in front of Naruto. Yeah, first of all, tell me what your eyes are capable of. An ordinary Sharingan is only capable of copying and predicting the enemy's actions a little. And Shisui's eye is capable of powerful genjutsu, copying techniques, predicting the actions of the enemy. The chakra. I see. Have you heard about the shimmering step? Yes, but this is not a Sharingan technique. Exactly, but it can be a substitute for the Thunder God's flight. This is true, but not completely, and plus, Hiraishin is several times faster. Yes, but a flickering step can be more useful than a Hiraishin in a stop to the enemy. All right. And how do I learn this technique? Look into my eyes. Naruto looked into Itachi's eyes and got into genjutsu. Itachi showed Naruto the Shisui technique. Remember? Asked Naruto Itachi. Yes, now I'm going to tell you about this technique, after which you will try to use it. Well, using the flicker body technique, a ninja can move fast over long distances at an almost untraceable speed. For the observed, it seems as if the user has teleported. This is achieved through the use of the chakra, which temporarily lightens the body and moves at great speed. The amount of chakra required depends on the total distance and height between the user and the destination. Let's remember, after 2 minutes, Naruto was already free to use bodily flicker. You're a genius. Thank you. So, now it's time to tell you about Susanoo. Susanoo is a giant, humanoid-like creature consisting of the user's chakra, which surrounds him and can fight at his will. This is the strongest technique of the owners of Manjike Sharingan after awakening Dojutsu in both eyes. After Susanoo is activated, it forms around the users and becomes an extension of his will, acting and attacking on his behalf. Initially, Susanoo is attached to its use. To the user as well as to him, in less developed forms, it will move along with the user, and in more developed users, it actually merges with him and moves inside him. This connection allows Susanoo to protect the owner from physical attacks, and the higher it can develop, the more difficult it will become to overcome this protection. In case of damage, Susanoo is not able to regenerate by itself, and can only be restored by advancing to the next stage of development or after reformation. Although Susanoo is quite effective as a defense, it is able to distinguish what exactly is blocking. For example, the user can use other jutsu within Susanoo, and any attacks will pass through it without complications. With the user's permission, other people can also be inside Susanoo, and the user, in turn, can also leave the protective shell of Susanoo at will. The latter quality can be used against him, since if the opponent has the opportunity to bypass Susanoo, he is able to pull the user out of the zone of the technique. With a high level of skill, Susanoo's defenses can be increased. Susanoo is only able to defend against physical attacks, which is why the user is still vulnerable to both visual and auditory attacks. In addition, without educated legs Susanoo user is still vulnerable to attacks from below. At the time of activation, Susanoo absorbs a large amount of the user's chakra. Being a Manjike Sharingan ability, it also puts a huge strain on the wearer's eyes when used regularly. However, the activation of Manjike Sharingan is not required for the formation of Susanoo. Susanoo differs between users in color, design, and armament. However, some features are common to all, as all Susanoo designs represent a deviation from Tengu, such as having 2 pairs of arms that transform into wings at the Kansutai Susanoo stage and 6 fingers on each hand. All Susanoo wield at least 1 sword. Uchiha Shisui was able to use Susanoo even after Danza stole his right eye. His version is painted green and has a wide mouth with elongated fangs, rounded shoulders with blade-like appendages on them, as well as on the face and around the forearms. His main weapon is a drill-shaped spear in his right hand, which Shisuyu can envelop in flames, thereby creating fiery whirlwinds. It is also capable of releasing a volley of chakra needles. And what abilities does your Susan have? My Susanoo has a curved blade resembling a dagger or tana. I use it rarely, preferring my Tatsuka no Tsurugi, which Susanoo uses with one of his right hands, and the other holds a bottle of sake containing a weapon. Tatsuka no Tsurugi is an immaterial weapon with an enchanted blade, which, in addition to the usual cutting, is able to seal the one it pierces, forever enclosing them in a genjutsu-like world of drunken dreams. In the primary left hand, my Susanoo carries Yatu Nakagami, a shield capable of changing its nature to a blocked attack, and thus canceling it. According to Kurizetsu, these relics make Susanoo Tachi almost invincible, which is why he is called Yuban Waragami, the fierce god of valor. For long-range attacks with the help of Susanoo, I could use Isakana Magatama. Is that clear? Handed Naruto. Tomorrow I'll show you my Susanoo, but that's enough for today. A dog, Minato said, sitting in Kage's chair. Anbu appeared in front of Minato, wearing a dog mask. Jiraiya is in the village, yes, Hokage herself. Bring him to me. There is. Free. Anbu disappeared, and after 10 minutes, there was a knock at the office. Come in, Minato said and rubbed his eyes. Hi, Minato. What did you want? Can you find Naruto Uzumaki on Mikaze? If I'm not mistaken, he's a CC plus rank Nukenin. It was a couple of hours ago that Kakashi's team found Arakimaru's hideout, and Naruto, Sasuke, and Arakimaru himself were there. Then a fight ensued, in which Kakashi's team suffered a crushing defeat. Namika received very severe burns from her own brother. Sai, Sakura and Kakashi also received not weak wounds. I want you to find and bring Naruto to the village. Why? Execute him. With a chill in his voice and eyes, Minato said. But he's your son. First of all, he is a Nukenin of the highest rank, and I am a Hokage. Did you hear what he said when he left the village? No, I wasn't in the village. He said that he would attack Konoha soon, and I am Hokage, and it is my duty to prevent all threats towards the village. Okay, I'll try my best, but I'm not promising anything. All right. Well, I'll go, I'll have some more. We also need to take the material for the book. Jiraiya was already reaching for the door, but suddenly it flew off its hinges and flew into Sannin. Jiraiya was confused for a second, but still managed to jump away from the door and remained unharmed. Minato and Jiraiya looked at the one who dared to enter Kaga's office like that. Many saw Kushina, whose hair was divided into 9 strands. Minato, I can't help here anymore, said Jiraiya and jumped out of the window. Minato, why did I just find out that Namika is in the hospital with severe wounds? Kushina, I'll explain everything now. I'll explain, you really try. Minato told the same story as he told his shinsei. Naruto did it, but he was very weak. And didn't I say why I declared Naruto a Nukenin of the CC plus rank? No, Kushin was already speaking calmly. He and Arakimaru attacked Konoha during the Chunin exam, and then stole an eye from one of the elders, after which he announced that he would soon attack Konoha. Naruto, don't you want to fight? Deidara asked, sitting in the kitchen of the organization. Come on. Naruto and Deidara went outside and stood opposite each other. Itachi, will you be a judge? Naruto asked. Okay, Itachi replied and jumped down from the tree. Just no, I'm not going to submit, Deidara said with a grin. Yeah, 1- to started counting and Tachi. Wait. Deidara stopped him. Naruto, you will fight with your eyes closed. Yes, but don't think that I underestimate you, I just have problems with my eyes. Okay, I'll make you open them. Well, try it. Fight. Itachi shouted and jumped back. Explosion. Deidara shouted, and 5 small bombs exploded under Naruto's feet. The place of the explosion was covered with dust, and Deidara began to peer into this dust. Where are you looking? Naruto asked from behind Deidara and threw him into a tree. Kaiten, the dance of fire dragons, folded the seals, Naruto said, and 3 dragons from the fire flew into Deidara. This technique can't get me, said Deidara and flew up on clay birds. Naruto's technique crashed into a tree, and it shattered into splinters, and flames burned in place of the tree. Art is an explosion, Naruto heard somewhere from above, and jumped aside. Naruto, I think it will be easier for you to fight with one eye open, since these small bombs are very hard to feel, Kurama said. I agree. How do you like my art? Deidara asked. I'm sorry, but I didn't see anything, Naruto replied, and opened his right eye. This is Sharingan, looking at Naruto, Deidara said. Exactly. Written, an arrow from lightning, having folded the seals, an arrow from lightning flew to Deidara. Naruto's technique hit a bird made of clay, and it began to fall down. An explosion, Naruto said, and the arrow exploded. Naruto, as I understand it, his techniques are created from the elements of the earth. Yeah, I figured that out too. Hello, Deidara said, standing in front of Naruto. Hello, Naruto replied, and introduced Dedaru to Genjutsu. You've lost. Why would I? You're in my Genjutsu. Damn, are you admitting defeat? I admit, gritting his teeth, Dedaru agreed. Namika, are you okay? Jiraiya asked, sitting on the windowsill. Yes, but my whole body hurts. How do you feel about what your own brother did to you? I don't know, after all, he was defending himself, and we tried to forcibly drag him into a village where he is hated and despised. Do you know what your father wants to do with Naruto? What? Execute. What? I don't believe it. Don't shout. Now I'm going to ask you a question, and if you answer it correctly, then I'll teach you a new technique. Ask, what will you do if Naruto attacks the village? I will try to stop him in every possible way. But he's stronger than you. I won't be alone. My father will be with me 100% and a bunch of shinobi. I think Naruto can't handle all the shinobi. The answer is correct. When you get better, I'll teach you new techniques. I'm going to go. All right. Jiraiya jumped off the windowsill and went to Hokage's residence. When Sannin arrived, he saw the residence workers repairing the broken door. Minato, I have a question about your request, Jiraiya said as he entered the office. Ask. Can I take Kakashi with me? Yes, I think I won't be giving missions to his team in the near future. Great, but I'm off. Listen, Naruto, where did you get the Sharingan? Deidara asked as he entered the lair. The Sharingan you saw was given to me by my sensei, but I still have one Sharingan, only the Manjike at Chi Shisui. Shimmering Shisui, as surprise asked Day. Yes, and how did you get it? I stole it from Dan's. Is that clear? All right, I'm going to bed. Good night. Good night. Naruto and Deidara went to their rooms and went to bed. Naruto, get up, Itachi said, standing over Naruto. What do you need so early? Asked Naruto with displeasure. Let's go study Sunos, otherwise I'm going on a mission soon. All right. Naruto got out of bed and, after doing the morning procedures, went outside, where Itachi was already standing. So, use Manjikyu and watch carefully. Naruto did everything as Itachi said, and began to observe closely. Itachi activated Manjikyu and began to gradually use Susanoo. Naruto carefully followed each stage of Susanoo's development and automatically tried to repeat it. But this is my limit, Itachi said, and dispelled the technique. I see. Did you remember everything? Yes. Then I'll go and you train. When I come, you have to use the ribs. All right. Itachi left, and Naruto started training. After 3 hours, Naruto was able to safely use the ribs, but he could not go to the next stage. Naruto, it's all because you have only one Sharingan. But Shisui could. Shisui is a true genius, and in addition, these are his eyes. But I'm not saying you're an idiot either, it's just not your eyes. I see, so I have to ask Itachi to give me the other eye. Well, were you able to use the ribs? Itachi asked as he approached Naruto. Yes, but I can't go to the next stage. Of course you can't. Do you have any options? Why? Yes, it's all because you have one line. And I told you, Kurama grinned. What am I supposed to do now? Turned on the fool Naruto. Here you go, Itachi said and handed Naruto a flask with a Sharingan. Are you serious? Yes, here you go. Thank you. Is there someone who can transplant your eye? Yes. Okay, we'll have a sparring tomorrow. Okay. Naruto disappeared in black lightning and appeared in Arakimaru's lair. Who are you? Sasuke asked and jumped away from Naruto. Are you an idiot? Oh, Naruto, is that you? Yes, where is Arakimaru? In the office. Thank you. Naruto entered Shinsei's office without knocking. Oh, Naruto, why did you come? I took out the second Sharingan Shisui, said Naruto, and put the flask with the eye on the table. Great, let's go to the operating room. Arakimaru performed the operation, and after 4 hours, Naruto woke up. How does it feel? Arakimaru asked. It feels like I have no weaknesses, Naruto replied and opened his eyes. That's great. What are you going to do now? I'm going back to Akatsuki. I have unfinished business. All right. Naruto disappeared in a black flash and appeared in his room. Naruto woke up and after doing all the morning procedures, headed for the exit of the lair. "Oh, Naruto, and I'm looking for you," Konan said as she entered the lair. "What is it?" "The stump is calling you." "I see." Naruto turned around and headed to the leader's office. Uzumaki knocked and heard, "Come in." "Why did you call?" "There's a task for you." "Which one?" "Sachikage needs Akatsuki to destroy a couple of Nukanins." "What did they do to stop him?" He didn't elaborate. "It is clear where these people are." "Right here," Pain said, and showed a place on the map. "Okay, I'm moving out." Naruto disappeared in black lightning and appeared 20 kilometers from the village of Stone. Note, Naruto has the marks of the Thunder God in all villages. So, well, like here, after walking a couple of kilometers, Naruto thought. "Who are you?" Some guy asked, coming out of the cave. "Just like that, the last person you see in your life," Naruto replied with a cold voice, and in a split second, "Cut the throat of this man." "Naruto, if anything, take my chakra," Kurama said. "Okay, but I don't think I'm going to need it." "Hello there," Naruto greeted as he entered the cave. "Who are you? And where is Kira?" One of the Nukanins asked. "Ah, that was his name, Kira. But I killed him," Naruto replied. "What? Attack him!" A man shouted, and Naruto was attacked by more than 15 shinobi. "Naruto, you can't do without sharing in here," Kurama said. "I know," Naruto replied, and activated the Sharingan. "Don't look into his eyes," one of the attackers shouted. "It's too late," Naruto replied and threw 3 shinobi into Genjutsu. They started yelling and fell down without breathing. "Shadow cloning," Naruto said, and created 5 clones, which he ordered to deal with the Nukanins. "What's going on here?" the pumped-up man asked, entering the cave. "Is that their leader?" Naruto asked and turned to the man. "Exactly, and I look like we've done something to you." "No, it's just my assignment," Naruto replied, and introduced the leader into Genjutsu. "Nah, Genjutsu of this level won't work on me," the man replied and activated the cursed seal. "Oh, so you're one of Arakimaru's experiments? Well, let's check whose seal is stronger," Naruto said, and activated the cursed seal. "So you're his experiment, too?" "Not, but his disciple." Naruto approached the man in a second and struck him in the solar plexus. But Kennen flew a couple of meters away and immediately stood up. "Not a bad shot." "Thank you," Naruto replied and struck again. Then another and another. "Your mother, and you're fast, barely getting up," said the man. "I know." "Stop, that raincoat. Just noticed, is it because of Katsuki?" "Exactly." Naruto folded the seals and used Chidori. "Damn, if he hits, then I'll die," thought Nukanin, and began to run away. "Hey, where are you going?" Naruto asked, appearing in front of the renegade, and stabbed him in the heart. "May you die." The apostate said the last words, and fell down without breathing. "And you said to take your chakra. I'm almost at the level of Kage," Naruto said in his subconscious. "Oh, I don't really want to. For you to die, come on." Naruto disappeared in a black lightning bolt and appeared in the leader's office. "I'm done. So fast, I'm so using the Thunder God's flight." "I see, here's your reward," Pain said, and handed Naruto 15,000 elves. "Thanks, I'm off." Naruto came out of the office and bumped into Tobi. "Oh, Naruto, hello." "Hello there." Naruto said hello and went on. Uzumaki came to the kitchen and saw Itachi. "Itachi, can you teach me madara?" "I can, let's go." Naruto and Itachi went outside. Itachi, activating Manjikyu, used Amaterasu. The equipment hit a tree, and it burned down in a couple of seconds. "Remember?" "Yes." Naruto, already with Manjikyu activated, looked at the tree, and, after pronouncing the name of the technique, the tree caught fire with a black flame. "Naruto, you're scaring me. You're learning very complex techniques too fast," Itachi said with surprise. "It's thanks to you and Sharingan Shisui." "Naruto, I'm on a mission," Itachi said, and went to the lair to sour. "All right." Naruto disappeared and appeared in Arakimaru's lair. "Naruto, let's fight." Sasuke shouted behind Naruto. Come on. Naruto and Sasuke went outside and saw Kabuto. Kabuto, will you be a judge? Naruto asked. Okay, Naruto and Sasuke stood opposite each other and got ready for battle. They started, Kabuto said, and Sasuke attacked Naruto in taijutsu. Listen, Sasuke, I'm going to fight you with 15% of my strength, beating off blows, Naruto said. I will make you fight with full force, Sasuke replied, and jumped away from Naruto. Kaiten, a fireball, Sasuke released a large fireball and threw shurikens into it. Not bad, but it's not even enough to make me tense up, Naruto said and, folding the seals, used a wall of wind. The shuriken balls collided, and after a couple of seconds the technique dissipated, and the shurikens. They fell to the ground. And now we are going to check how much you have developed your Sharingan, Naruto said, and used body flicker. Sasuke couldn't keep track of Naruto without sharing, and, after missing a couple of blows, activated the Dojutsu. Well, do you see my movements? Naruto asked, stabbing Sasuke in the stomach. A little, Uchiha replied and barely deflected the blow. Raiten, a lightning fang, folding the seals, Naruto released a lightning fang into Sasuke. Kaiten, the phoenix flowers, parried Sasuke's attack. The technicians collided, and Naruto's technique overcame Sasuke's technique. Sasuke, realizing that his technique had lost again, jumped aside and, taking out his katana, ran at Naruto. Uzumaki took out Kun, and also ran to Sasuke. Why don't you use your sword? Faced, Sasuke asked. Because you are not yet worthy to see the blade of my sword. What are you? Sasuke grinned, and held a lightning bolt in his katana. It's interesting, but it's still not enough. Naruto turned around and kicked Sasuke in the stomach. Uchiha did not have time to react and missed the blow. I think it's time to finish, Naruto said, and threw a kunai at Sasuke. Do you think that's enough? Uchiha asked and prepared to recapture the kunai. But when kunai had already flown up to Sasuke, Naruto appeared with kunai in a black flash. Damn it! Sasuke screamed and pressed himself against a tree. Did you lose? Naruto said and put the kunai to Sasuke's throat. I don't think so, replied Uchiha, and pressed the rolled on Naruto's stomach. Pierce me, katanas. What? Pierce it? Sasuke pierced Naruto's stomach, but instead of blood, Sasuke saw crows. Genjutsu. But when? I didn't look into his eyes, Sasuke asked in surprise. From the very beginning of our fight, and also for me to use. Called Genjutsu, you don't have to look into my eyes. Damn, okay, you held up pretty well. But you still need to develop Sharingan, Naruto said and, releasing Sasuke from Genjutsu, disappeared. Listen, Kurama, what would you like to do? There is no task in Akatsuka, and in general, there is no case. Naruto asked in his subconscious, walking around the village of mist. But I don't know how you like the idea of learning more Uzumaki clan techniques. I wonder, but where will I find scrolls with powerful techniques? In Uzusha Gakuri. This is the former village of the Uzumaki clan. Yes, but that means I'll be moving out soon. Don't you want to improve your eyes? How? Get an eternal mangekure. No, it's better. I mean, Arakamaru has the cells of the first Hokage, and if he transplants them to you, then you have a chance to get Renningen. As a leader. Exactly. Great idea. Don't be rude, but who are you? Haven't I seen you in the village before? The girl asked, distracting Naruto from the conversation. Aren't you Mizukage by any chance? Naruto asked in response. Exactly, and now please answer my question. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, Namikaze. I am a member of Akatsuki, Naruto replied, and, having opened the cloak, put it on. A member of Akatsuki means, and also the son of the fourth Hokage, and not Tersni. You forgot something. And what? I am a CC plus rank renegade. I see, I have a couple of questions for you, let's follow me. And if I refuse, I'll have to take you by force. And it turns out, you want to check, after the words of Mizukage. Naruto was surrounded by the 10th Anbu. Okay, I'm not in the mood to fight right now. That's good. Naruto and Mizukage went to Ikagi's residence, sat down in her chair, and Naruto stood in front of her. What questions do you have for me? The first thing that a member of Akatsuki and a renegade of the USSR plus rank forgot, in the village of Tuma. I was just bored, so I came for a walk. Okay, second question. What do you plan to do next? I don't know. The third question. You don't want to join the ranks of the shinobi fog. Seriously, you have now invited a renegade and the son of Hokage to join the ranks of the shinobi mist. Exactly, and if you have enough strength, you will become my bodyguard. Are you not afraid for your life? Maybe I have a mission to kill you. I understand people, and I see that you are not going to kill me, and I also feel a strange chakra in you. Don't you know that a cube is sealed in me? I know now. So, don't you want to accept my offer? In principle, I have nothing to do, so I agree. Just let's analyze my strength, and I will immediately become your bodyguard, otherwise I will be bored. To be found in Genins or Jonins. All right, you're going to fight me. It will take place in the arena under the village. All right. Naruto, Mizukage, and a couple dozen Anbu descended into the underground arena, and Naruto and Kage stood opposite each other. Isn't your name Mei? Yes, good. One of the Anbu stood between Naruto and Mei and, waving his hand, jumped back. Let's see what you're capable of. Before Mei could finish, Naruto introduced her to Genjutsu. You've lost. This is Genjutsu, exactly, and it's not even half of my strength. Well, you've been accepted by the harms of Kage's bodyguards. Naruto released the snakes from the Genjutsu, and they returned to the office. So, now we're going to talk on you. All right, Mei. So, now I'm going to tell you about the responsibilities. You have to go with me wherever I say. And in particular to the meeting of elders and to the meeting of the Kage. And that's basically it. Okay, for convenience, I'll put the mark of the Flying Thunder God on you so that I can help you at any time. Do you have the technique of the fourth? Mei asked in surprise. Yes, and also this. Naruto activated Shisui's Manjike and looked into Mei's eyes. Is this the Sharingan of the great Uchiha Shisui? Mei asked with even more surprise. Exactly, Naruto replied, and deactivated the Sharingan. Okay, put a label on it. Where to put it? Get on your feet. All right. Naruto sat down and, putting his hand on my leg, put a mark. Ready. If you need help, just swipe the chakra into the mark, and I'll come right away. Okay, and now I'm off, Naruto said. Naruto disappeared, appearing in Sensei's lair. Naruto, do you need something? Arakamaru asked, standing next to Naruto. Yes, I found out here that you have the cells of the first Hokage. Yes, but why do you need them? You can transplant them to me. I want to get Renningen. Did you know it's not that easy? I know, and I'm ready. All right. Naruto and Arakamaru went into the operating room, and Sanin performed the operation. After a couple of hours, Naruto woke up and felt new strength in himself. Kurama, how are your eyes? Naruto immediately asked. Naruto. Everything is as it was, very hard training is needed for Renningen. I see. Naruto opened his eyes and, standing up, put on his clothes and disappeared, appearing 50 kilometers from the village of Mist. Naruto, can you use Makoten? Kurama said. Great, as I understand it, the technicians are in Konoha. Yes. Naruto created clones without words and ordered him to pick up the scrolls with techniques, and he ran to Yuzu Shigakuri. 2 days later, Naruto came running to the village. Naruto, stop. Stopped that chicken. What happened after stopping a couple of meters from the entrance to the village? There is a very strong barrier imposed on the village, and in order for you to pass through it, you must draw blood along the barrier. Got it. Naruto did everything as Kurama said, and symbols appeared on the barrier. After that, a passage appeared in the barrier. Naruto entered the village and saw the destroyed houses. Kurama, what is this chakra? Naruto asked with a little fear. Is this your grandfather's chakra? Kurama said with the same fear. Grandfather, how can he be alive? It's most likely his spirit or something similar. Can a spirit cause such a feeling? Yes. Naruto, for reasons unknown to him, went in the direction from which this terrifying chakra comes. After a couple of 100 meters, Naruto came to some stairs that led down. Naruto walked down the stairs and stopped at the door. Uzumaki only reached for the door handle, somehow it opened, and Naruto took a very strong blow to the face. Because of this, Naruto flew a couple of 100 meters and crashed into a destroyed wall. Naruto did not have time to understand what happened, as he was hit in the stomach. Because of this, Yanshariki bled from his mouth. "Naruto, get up and fight with full force," Kurama shouted in his subconscious. Uzumaki got up and, activating the Mangekyou, looked around, but saw no one. "Kurama, can you feel it?" Naruto asked. Kurama answered from behind, shouting. Naruto managed to react and dodge the blow. "Who are you?" Naruto asked into the void. Uzumaki heard Naruto being too calm. "Kurama, what are we going to do? Do you even see him?" "Not now. Turn around, he's burning you with his eyes." Yanshariki quickly turned around and saw an old man with blood-red hair. "Who are you?" "I have already repeated, I am Uzumaki," the old man calmly replied again. "Naruto, he is preparing for an attack," warned Uzumaki Kurama. "Thank you." The old man attacked Naruto and already thought that he had hit the target again, but Naruto disappeared in lightning. "And you're capable of something?" "Thank you." Naruto scattered kunai all over the territory and prepared for an attack. "What kind of technique is this?" The old man asked the question. "Shinobi technique," Naruto replied sarcastically. "Kurama, there's something wrong with him. His chakra flows are unstable." Looking at his opponent, Naruto said. "I noticed it too. As I understand it, it's something like a spirit, but much stronger. Can spirits really cause physical damage?" "But as we see, they can. Those eyes are you Uchiha. Although no, I don't feel their chakras in you." "Are you a half-breed?" the old man asked again. "Exactly, I'm Uzumaki Namikaze." "And who are you?" "You're not alive. Did you figure it out with your eyes?" "Exactly. So, who are you?" Naruto repeated again. "I will answer if I consider you worthy." "Very well." Naruto created 20 clones and together with clones began to teleport along the kunai. After 2 minutes, Naruto dispelled the clones and looked at the old man, who didn't have a scratch on him. "Now it's my turn," the old man said and disappeared. Susanoo shouted at Naruto and used a humanoid hand. The form of Susanoo. Uzumaki concentrated as much as possible and felt a blow in the back. Naruto turned around and saw how Susanoo cracked. "Kurama, give me the chakras." "All right." Naruto became covered with yellow chakra and dispelled Susanoo. "This is the chakra." Biju asked Susanoo. "The old man, exactly," replied Naruto, and disappeared. Uzumaki appeared behind the old man and touched his back, thereby placing the seal of the Thunder God. "You got faster," the old man said, and turning around, tried to strike, but Naruto was no longer there. Uzumaki drew his sword from its scabbard and prepared to strike. "Do you know Kinjutsu?" "I own it." Naruto covered the sword with fire chakra and disappeared, appearing behind the old man, and struck at the right leg. The old man did not expect Naruto to appear behind him and could not repel the blow. Uzumaki's sword was able to inflict a severe cut on the old man's leg, and after that blow Naruto disappeared. "Is that the best you can do?" the old man asked and healed the wound. "No," Naruto got away.